So if you've been keeping an eye on international finance, you've probably seen some pretty confusing headlines about Thailand. One minute, you're reading about it being the sick man of Asia, bogged down with debt and sluggish growth. But then the next, you see reports that it's hitting a 10-year high for foreign investment. So what is going on? For a foreign investor looking in, is Thailand a trap waiting to spring, or is it a genuine treasure trove of opportunity? Let's dig in and figure it out.
Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle that trap or treasure question head on. Then, we'll get real about the 3 biggest threats an investor faces on the ground. After that, we'll look at the legal ways you can get to 100% ownership. And, this is key, we'll explore an engineer investor solution that unlocks real value before we wrap up by looking at how you can be a part of building Thailand's future.
Okay, let's jump right into the big debate. What is the real health of the Thai economy? Because honestly, it depends on who you ask.
You've got this really provocative label, the sick man of Asia, that's been making the rounds, especially after being highlighted by outlets like the Financial Times. And look, it's not coming from nowhere. It points to some very real challenges. A population that's getting older, manufacturing that's hit a plateau, and political uncertainty. All of this has kept growth stuck at around 2%. And for any investor, that's got to be a major red flag, right?
But, and this is a big but, here's where the plot thickens. On one side, you have that bear case, slow growth, massive household debt, but on the other side, a literal flood of cash is pouring into the country. We're talking a record 1.14 trillion baht in investment applications. You've got one of the deepest capital markets in all of Southeast Asia and a huge pipeline of mega projects on the way. So it really makes you wonder, are we looking at a patient in decline or a sleeping giant that's just about to wake up?
To get to the bottom of that, you have to look beyond the big headlines. For any foreign investor, the real make-or-break issues come down to a triple threat of risks you're going to face right there on the ground.
First up, yes, it's that household debt. At nearly 90% of GDP, it is the highest in Asia. And that's not just some abstract number on a chart. It has a real-world effect. It means people have less money in their pockets to spend. And that can put the brakes on growth for any business that's counting on local customers.
The second threat is what I'd call the bureaucratic maze. There's something called the Foreign Business Act, or FBA, and it generally says a foreign entity can only own up to 49% of a company. That's a huge hurdle if you want to be in control of your own business. And let me be clear, trying to get around it using nominee shareholders to fake Thai ownership, well, that's totally illegal. We're talking serious fines and even jail time.
And that third threat? It's a direct hit on anyone who just wants to buy land and sit on it. Thailand now has this pretty aggressive tax on unused or vacant land that can go as high as 3% a year, and it goes up every few years. The government's message here is crystal clear. Develop your property, or we're going to tax you until you do. So the old strategy of just holding land and waiting, that's off the table.
So, okay, those risks are absolutely real. No doubt about it. But, and this is the crucial part that often gets missed, Thailand has also created very clear, totally legal and really strategic ways for serious investors to get around these exact problems. Here are your main options. Your standard Thai limited company keeps you at that 49% foreign ownership limit. But the real game changer, the one you need to know about, is the Board of Investment, or BOI. If your business is in a field the government wants to promote, think high-tech, green energy, R&D, the BOI can give you the keys to the kingdom. 100% foreign ownership, tax breaks for as long as 13 years, and even the right to own land. Oh, and for U.S. investors, there's also the Treaty of Amity, which can offer similar perks.
Now, picking the right legal pathway is, of course, absolutely vital. But that's really only half the story. To actually turn a piece of Thai property from a potential headache into a high-yield treasure, you need a partner on the ground who brings a very specific, and I mean technical, set of skills to the table.
This is where a concept called the EPC plus F model comes into play. It stands for engineering, procurement, construction, plus finance. The easiest way to think about it is this. You take an asset that's not living up to its potential, say an old warehouse, and you don't just give it a coat of paint. You completely re-engineer it. You turn it into something the modern economy desperately needs, like a cutting-edge data center, a smart logistics hub, or a luxury wellness resort. You're not just building, you're creating a world-class asset and then connecting it with the global capital that's looking for exactly these kinds of projects.
And this all starts by applying what you could call an engineer's mindset from the very first day. This means you're going way beyond a basic walkthrough. You're looking for those hidden, invisible risks that can absolutely destroy your investment down the line. Subtle cracks in the foundation, an electrical system that's a fire hazard, or the fact that the property sits in a floodplain. It's all about protecting your capital before a single contract is even signed.
So what this approach really gives an investor is a full end-to-end service. It kicks off with incredibly deep technical inspections to take risk off the table. Then, the focus shifts to creating massive value through smart redevelopment. And finally, it plugs you into a huge network for financing and business partnerships, all while taking care of the nitty-gritty of visas, legal work, and even relocation. It literally covers the entire investment journey from start to finish.
And this is why this partnership model is so incredibly powerful. It doesn't just help you navigate the challenges of today, it allows you to plug directly into the enormous economic transformation that's happening in Thailand right now.
I mean, just look at what's in the pipeline. The Thai government is investing hundreds of billions of baht into these massive foundational projects. We're talking a high-speed rail that will connect Thailand all the way to China, huge upgrades for major international airports, and this incredibly ambitious land bridge project that aims to create a whole new global shipping route. This isn't just concrete and steel. This is the physical backbone for the next generation of economic growth.
And all of this new infrastructure is being built with a very clear purpose. It's all designed to support the country's new S-curve strategy. Basically, Thailand is making a conscious pivot away from its old industrial base and jumping onto a new wave of growth driven by high-value industries. Think electric vehicles, artificial intelligence, clean energy, digital services. This is where the government is putting its focus, its money, and its incentives. This is the future.
And that really brings us to the final, crucial question. That whole sick man of Asia thing, it describes a country that's in the middle of a tough but really necessary change. For an investor, surviving and thriving in this environment isn't about making a simple bet on the economy. It's about choosing the right partner, one with the technical skill to see the hidden risks, the strategic vision to create new value, and the local know-how to make it all happen. Because in a market like this, maybe the biggest risk you face isn't the economy at all. It's having the wrong partner by your side.